is going on, guys? It's your boy HQ420. Welcome y'all back. Another episode of Showtime with the Cube. As always, I've got the powerful one with me, Corey Hughes. Corey, this afternoon, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm here. Aye, Captain.
Yeah, he salutes me. He salutes me. We appreciate everybody's been checking us out so far. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit the follow button if you listen to us on podcast platforms. We're going to jump into episode 8 of Ahsoka, this season's finale. It didn't say the series finale. It did only say the season finale. So we're assuming, the assumption is, from the way things are left off in this, that they will have to at least try to tie up loose ends at some point in time, maybe before we perish, okay? Now we might be old and gray, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or older and grayer. Corey's already got a little bit going on up top. I got a few myself.
No, you see, I look so young and youthful that I dye my stuff gray just so I can, appear to be my age.
Oh, so you go ahead, you do the touch of gray.
Touch of gray.
So that's what Corey does. Corey says, I do the little touch of gray. That's how I get down. So, Ahsoka, episode 8. We left off episode 7. We knew that we were going to have a quote-unquote big finale battle in episode 8. And we thought maybe we would get a few loose ends tied up. And we didn't really, for the most part. It kind of ended how we both kind of figured it would end. But let's talk about a couple of elements within this. We got Ezra. He recreated a lightsaber, so I guess Ahsoka's got an abundance of kyber crystals on her ship.
Yes. So I think it was Nerderotic pointed this out, that kyber crystals are rare. They are hard to find. Like, a Jedi has to go through a trial to get his damn kyber crystal to be able to build his lightsaber, and she got him stacked up in a fucking junk drawer. What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, that's the way it is. I was like, oh, okay. So hey, look, a lot of stuff is shifting right here. Okay, to be a Jedi or to be Force sensitive, you don't have to have the midichlorians. Obviously now, you can just will your way into using the Force. So
yeah, it's like there's some fucking Muggle affirmative action going on in the Force. That's what it is.
It's like, man, we need to be inclusive in using the Force. Is that what we got going on?
We need to include those people who can't use the Force.
Yeah. The people over there is like, hey, I would like to be able to use the Force. It's like, well, you don't have the midichlorians. It's like, well, that's not fair. It's like, okay, we'll make some exceptions here and there, okay? If you train hard enough, if you believe hard enough, you got faith in the Force, then all of a sudden you'll be able to wield it and wield it well, okay? Wield it well. With
and I'll teach you how in my new course for just $59.95.
Yeah, there you go. Trust me, it's not a scam, okay? It's not a scam, all right? It's not a scam at all. So we have Ezra build his lightsaber. We have Thrawn. He sends out 2 TIE fighters to disable the ship to give him more time to get away through fire. He knew he was going to lose the 2 TIE fighters, okay? And then we've got Ezra, Ahsoka, and Sabine ride on dogback. Are those dogs? What are they? Dog horses?
They're
whatever they are.
Doglings.
Yeah, there we go. Doglings.
Doglings.
So they ride on
See, in
those.
Star Wars, you can just put ling at the end of anything, like younglings.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
Is that the way it works?
That's how it works.
Is this official?
Yes, it's like Spanish by just adding an O to everything.
Okay.
You just add ling and you got the good Jedi talk.
Oh, so obviously that's how this works now, guys. And so they use the combination of the Force. Now, I don't know if Sabine was actually able to use any of her Force right at that point in time when they're getting fired at by Thrawn when they're going up to the gate. But they use the Force to open the gate, which,
yeah,
I guess it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
I guess it's okay.
Although, I don't recall ever in history multiple Jedis combining their Force powers to do one thing. That was never a thing. Like, you've never seen that before. Can you think of a time when multiple Jedis have worked together on one thing? I can't ever, in the history of any Star Wars, remember multiple Jedis Force opening a single door or single anything.
Yeah, no. No,
So
not
it's a
at all.
violation of something there, you know.
It's some type of violation going on here because somebody looking at this. It's like, oh
So
man.
I'm gonna sidestep us here for just a split second because
Sidestep.
today I got sucked into what I now have deemed to be a classy A+ movie, Eagle Eye, with what's his name? Indiana Jones Jr. LaBeouf. Hey, I actually like that guy. He's actually pretty good. And I think one of the reasons he's pretty good is locally here, some damn Colorado jiu-jitsu place keeps running the damn commercial that's just Shia LaBeouf going, "Do it! Live your dreams!" You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I swear to God, I see that like 3 times a day on YouTube for this local jiu-jitsu place pushing. It's fucking great. But I've come to get a whole new respect for Shia LaBeouf. But in this movie, you had a very young Ahsoka, or Rosario Dawson, was one of the lead female characters in this film. And I realized that Rosario Dawson, much like who's my favorite action star? Jason Statham. Every role he gets, he's Jason Statham, okay? Every role Rosario Dawson gets, she's Rosario Dawson. That's all the fuck there is to it. There's no differentiation between her and any of her other roles. And so I think what we're seeing here in Ahsoka is honestly just more of the same now that I've had a refresh on her career.
What about Clerks 2?
Okay, so Clerks 2
she was in that.
She was in Clerks 1 also. Clerks 2, I don't remember being nearly as entertaining as Clerks 1. And I remember Clerks 1, she was hot in there. I seem to have not lost my thing for her. Maybe Ashoka did it. I don't know.
Well, she does. Well, I mean, she has aged some. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, age ain't a thing, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'll take some grannies. I ain't worried about it.
I mean, some people age well. Some people don't. Let's just say that. I mean, is that fair enough? Is that a fair enough assumption?
Yes.
Fair enough assumption. Hold on, guys. Let's bring we'll bring a picture up here, okay? So we'll make sure this is her in the not being Ahsoka. So I mean, I think it's still within range. Well within range. Is this more of her? This is probably more of her right now.
Yeah, I like that. She looks good there.
It's okay. So I mean, we still okay. Maybe it's something to do with her.
Oh, I like that one with the short hair.
With the short hair. Oh,
yeah.
Are you talking about this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's nice.
Okay. All right. So Corey still has a thing for her. Okay. Let's not let's not pretend he does. Corey's got a thing for her. There's a soft spot in Corey's heart for Rosario Dawson. Okay. So this has made these past, what's it been, month and a half?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, month and a half at least feasible.
But I figured out the reason that she sucks in this so bad is because she's always smiling. Like, the bad guys are coming. She's smiling. Yeah. She got this grin on her face. I'm like, bitch, you're about to die, okay? You should not be smiling.
Yeah. Now, when they get inside the temple, the Night Sisters temple, they send down the stormtroopers, okay? And Corey, I don't know if you've watched that Darth Maul Apprentice fan film that I told you about.
I have not.
Okay, it's about 17 minutes, guys. If you have not watched this, you can go to YouTube, okay, and watch Darth Maul Apprentice. All right, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen so people know what I'm talking about. So people don't get off on the wrong thing. And this is, people did this. I'm pretty sure they had maybe $100,000 to work with, and it might not even been that, but they did a fantastic job of actually lightsaber dueling. Okay, so here's what we got right here by T7 Pro. People go watch this. 32 million views. Okay, this is 7 years ago. This was 7 years ago when this was made. But Darth Maul Apprentice. People go watch this. So when you watch that, which was made by T7 Pro, and then you see the lightsaber dueling that they have up here, I mean, it's something that they're leaving shit on the table. Okay,
that is the truth.
I mean, it's just like, are the people that you getting, are they putting into practice? I mean, look, you talk about the height of lightsaber dueling when you had plenty of it in the prequel trilogy, especially in the second and the third iteration of the prequel trilogy. And then, like, you figure as we moved along in time, the choreography, especially we seeing stuff like John Wick and all these movies where they have this over the top choreography, you figured that they would up their game as far as lightsaber wielding, dueling, and things of that nature. But it just seemed like, okay, it seemed like Ahsoka was just like, yeah. I mean, it seemed like they were bored.
Do you think they're using like stunt double for Rosario Dawson, or do you think they're putting her through the paces?
It's probably a double.
Then that's even less of an excuse. If she was actually doing it, I could see it being a little on the weak side, but no excuse for a double.
Yeah, but what happened to where they, you would go through, 12 hours a day of training to, make it look badass? You know what I'm saying?
She ain't Keanu Reeves.
That's what the folks did, though. I thought that's, you want to encompass yourself in the role.
Maybe Tom Cruise. I only think a handful of people do that stuff.
Yeah, the choreography, because it's kind of like a dance. All right, so it's scripted out for the most part, but it's like the fluidity of them actually blocking the blasters, like them cutting through the stormtroopers. Now we do see something here. Okay, you can slash the stormtroopers one time. You're not even actually slashing all the way through the body, but if you get stabbed in the gut, you're okay. All right.
Yes. So let's revisit this. Ren got stabbed through with a lightsaber through and through, didn't she?
Yeah.
And it just pushed her like kidneys and stuff aside. Is that how that works?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. No intestinal damage. No needing to get surgery on the bowel or nothing.
Yeah. Later on in this episode, Morgan Elsbeth just gets slashed across the belly. Now she did get slashed by 2 weapons. Okay, so I give her that. But slashed, not stabbed through, and she immediately died.
Okay, so we need to discuss this character. What is her name again?
Morgan Elsbeth.
Morgan Elsbeth. Yes, we need to discuss her because they spent an inordinate amount of time on this bitch just for her to die. Okay, so she is called down fairly close to the beginning. She's called down from the witches in the red. I kind of like them. They got some spook going on there. I kind of like, and so. They get her to come forward, and they're like, "Oh, thank you. You're going to join our fucking our order." And they couldn't even give her any damn red robes. I thought that was pretty cheap. So they give her like, the Vulcan mind meld turns her face all green, and all of a sudden she got some smudges on her face, and now she's one of them. Okay. Then they swirl their hands around in a big thing, and some smoke comes out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden you get green smoke, and then the green smoke solidifies into this big sword with some greeny stuff on it. Right. So it's not a lightsaber, but it's a witch sword with some green stuff floating off it. Okay.
Yeah.
This goddamn scene took like 7-8 minutes. I swear to God. It was long. Fucking ever. For no fucking reason whatsoever. I don't know if they had like a dead spot they had to fill or what the deal was, but there was zero purpose in this scene. There was no need for them to stretch it out so long. And like, I just can't believe how much time it actually ate up for her just to get sliced open like 20 minutes later.
Yeah, it was almost like she was she was reciting wedding vows. To death do you part. Oh yes, to death do us part. Just like, hey, but at the end, but she didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. Morgan Elsbeth. But it's all good, you know what I'm saying? I mean, somebody's got to die, right? I mean, somebody's got to get taken out. But so, was it Mandalorian Season 2? Morgan Elsbeth, they capture at the beginning of this season. They break her out. She's just pretty much fodder to Fawn Thrawn to get sacrificed, which Thrawn already knew he was going to sacrifice her. Like, he knew he was going to leave her and she was going to die. Like, he pretty much knew that. I mean,
she played her role, or whatever he said.
That was the quote-unquote
she did her
role.
part, yeah.
Yeah, which was You found me. Appreciate it. Now I'll leave you here to die. I'm like,
well, I think these Empire people, they're a little cold.
yeah, man. I mean, it's a little bit too cold. Do you feel like that we got enough of Thrawn this season?
Yeah, I'd say the balance was there because the first
Okay.
couple episodes with them trying to find him, remember? So there was some tension built.
Okay.
There was some
Hmm.
storyline and drama surrounding finding him with the little map sphere. So yeah, I'm totally okay with him only having really only a couple scenes. He's probably got less than 10 minutes of screen time in the whole in the whole season. But I'm anticipating that we'll see him much more next season. Do we know how many seasons this is planned for?
No, man, we don't know anything. Okay.
So based on what we've seen so far, I'm hoping that this thing makes to at least 3 seasons. If they give us 2 seasons, you can tell they're cutting their losses, which they should, because this is technically the worst fucking viewership of any Star Wars TV show made yet.
Oh yeah, I was hearing somebody say that.
Yeah, it's abysmal. It's really not good at all. And
Why do you think that is?
well, I'll give you one reason, and this is just one of many, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
When I go into the Disney Plus menu and I click on that thing that says Star Wars, once upon a time, there would have only been 3 thumbnails there. And then there were 6. And then there were 9. And now there's like 50 fucking 2. Okay? Have you noticed that? There's like 52 fucking thumbnails in there. I don't know how many's in there. It's a goddamn lot of thumbnails. That's one of the reasons this shit is failing. Because it's not special anymore. Star Wars was special at one point in time. When they came out with a movie, it was special. When they came out with even Mandalorian season 1, episode 1, it was kind of special. The hype was there. It was Star Wars. It was, oh my God.
Oh
and
yeah. I love that. I love season 1 of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That was
wow
great.
Factor out the fucking window. And the thing is, these are not stories that people know about or care about. Like trying to do a show with Ahsoka post Return of the Jedi, you're touching between Return of the Jedi and the First Order, you're fucking looking at totally uncharted territory, and the storylines are disposable because none of this shit matters by the time we get to episode 7, right?
That's what we're assuming. We're assuming it doesn't matter,
right? Like none of this matters.
Our assumption.
Like this is pure filler, and we can tell it's filler because none of it has any impact on the greater canon, and that's one of the reasons why it fails. Plus, Rosario Dawson can't stop fucking smiling. So
yeah, because we didn't get any indication of Ahsoka, of Grogu, of any of that in the in our latest trilogy.
Right, and this is going on at the same time as Mandalorian, right? Or should be right after Mandalorian, or intermingled with Mandalorian?
It's intermingled at the same time with Mandalorian, yes.
Oh, okay. So did we actually go back? Okay, so when we did Mandalorian, did we do a timeline and fit it into a proper timeline and determine when it was? And does that actually correspond with Ahsoka? Or is it just roughly within? It does. Okay, it's not just like roughly within a couple year period. It's definitely working. All right.
Yeah, gotcha. because Ahsoka is was in. She's actually, her introduction is in the Mandalorian with Morgan Elsbeth in season 2. So this is coinciding at the same time as the Mandalorian, at the exact same time, actually. Yeah.
So what's he doing? And why hasn't there been a cameo? Could they not afford it? With them losing all these hundreds of billions of dollars on movies, you would think that they might not be able to afford it.
That is true, because they usually cameo, so they didn't cameo Mando in this.
No. They could have at least once. He could have come in and saved the day at the end or something, helped her, because none of this none of this is canon. None of this is story. None of this is written, right? So they could fucking intermingle. They could do whatever the fuck they want at this point.
Well, we do learn that, this may have been told in Rebels, but as far as I learned, that Sabine Wren was there for the Night of 1,000 Tears. I think that's what they call it, when Mandalore got their ass kicked.
Right.
So she was there with Bo-Katan. I wonder if they were getting busy.
But here's the weird thing: like they even though she wears the suit, she doesn't feel like a Mandalorian. She doesn't give off the vibe of a Mandalorian. She doesn't seem to portray any of their customs.
She can't fight well.
No, not at all. Well. And it doesn't seem like she gives a fuck about where the other Mandalorians are, which is weird because they're out there. Bo-Katan and all of them, right, are out there. And so, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just the
And
whole
Ahsoka
it,
didn't say anything to her about like
right. Her
Din
Mandalorian
Djarin.
status seems
Yeah,
to be it seems her Mandalorian status seems to be an afterthought. You know, it's weird.
yeah, yeah. Which we thought we were going to get something, quote unquote, special with Grogu being like a Mandalorian Jedi. You know what I'm saying? And folks kind of like doing concept art or what that would look like later on in the future. But then we got Sabine Wren, which I guess is technically a Mandalorian Jedi as well. I guess they had to make sure they had a woman in that spot too. So
I'm not liking
I
it.
I
My
see
face
your
is like
face.
it's like everything. I think well, it's like I just ate a turd.
Yeah, that was a bad look, guys. For people on the podcast platform, that was a bad look that Corey just gave.
It was
What do
just
you
like
think?
when you start putting it into context like that, comparing the storylines and what's supposed to be what. It's like, really, this is dumb. You guys couldn't have done any better than this.
Yeah, it's a little rough. What do you think about the zombie stormtroopers?
So
Which I'm assuming that's what Merrick was. I'm assuming that's what Merrick was.
possibly, here's the thing: like the stormtroopers always got to have a little twist, right? So this one they just tied some red rope around them or something. Like what is that red shit? They just they got this like red stuff they just tied around their arms and legs, and now they're a new kind of stormtrooper. I'm like, that was weak. That was weak.
Yeah, quote unquote. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know
but
anything.
yeah, but
So these obviously stormtroopers are left over from the Clone Wars, left over from the Empire. Definitely clones.
yeah, but once they were
Um,
killed, then the Night Sisters imbued the magic in them to make them zombie stormtroopers.
I'm gonna
How you
pretend
feel
that
about
I didn't hear that.
Man, I mean, it was like, right, zombie stormtroopers. I got you. I'm right
So
there with you.
they do some interesting stuff, like individualize that one stormtrooper with the like Roman or Greek face, right? That's
Yeah,
cool.
what they call him, Enoch? Don't
Yeah,
they
yeah,
call him
yeah. I
Enoch?
like that,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like a biblical reference too, right? So I like
Mm-hmm.
that. That was cool. Somebody had a good idea back there. I can't believe they actually let it out. But
Mm-hmm.
then they do some other dumb shit, right? It's unbelievable. The was this written during the writer's strike? Did like the janitor write this? Like, is that what's going on here?
It's a hey man, finish writing this episode. It's like man, what can I read the other scripts? We don't have time, dude. I need this thing pushed out shortly. Okay, we ain't got time. So we got the zombie stormtroopers, which I feel you just cut their heads off, and it's zombies, and then we you cut their heads off.
um, is it just the heads? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just the
it's just head.
heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Headshot usually takes them out. You just got to finish the brain. So, but they literally pretty much overwhelmed Ezra and Sabine and Ahsoka. So they were pretty much running for their lives the entire time. And I thought it was real funny when Ahsoka comes up and her and Ezra and Sabine are sitting there and they're looking at Morgan, Elsbeth, and Ahsoka's like, I'll handle this. And Morgan just lets them leave. I'm like, hold on a second. I'm like, they're going to try to stop Throne, right? I was like, no backup. I was like, all right, then. I mean, that was kind of weird.
That was
All right,
whack.
I guess we
That was
had
so
it.
whack.
Okay.
They let the B team go and handle the boss, right? You don't let the B team handle the end game dungeon boss, right? You never do that.
Hey, what if that's all you got left? You say we work on what we got left. The B team. Come on, man, it's Ezra Day. Ezra was getting his ass kicked. Of course, Sabine had to say because he was about to get taken out.
I don't like Ezra either. The motherfucker smiles too much too, and his beard is stupid.
They said, okay, so I'm with you. Ahsoka and Ezra, they're like, but you see their teeth all the time, and then Sabine, she's like she's got a butt plug in.
Butt
You know what I'm
plug.
saying?
Yep.
That she doesn't want there. Like she's not into butt stuff.
Not
you know
into it at all.
Yeah, but it's in there.
She's uptight and she's angry and she's been discriminated against. That's what her problem is.
Yeah, I mean that's what it feels like.
She's been stepped on by the patriarchy.
Okay. Good God Almighty, Bo.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh man, she's been stepped right on by the patriarchy. So, hey, how did you like their plan, Ezra's plan and Sabine's plan for him to jump and she would just
It was stupid.
force? It's like I'll force push you, and then when I jump, you bring me over. I'm like, well, y'all got a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna trust your powers, bitch. You started yesterday.
That's what I'm saying.
You've been a Jedi for 10 minutes. Fuck that.
I'm just like, hold on. Isn't this years of training? Years of training to
yeah, and you got to go in the cave
efficiently.
and face your inner self and all that crap. None of that happened.
You see, that was my problem. That was my problem with Rey. Okay, because she went right out there and immediately kicked Kylo Ren's ass. I'm like, there is no way in hell that you can kick Kylo Ren's ass. This dude has been wielding a saber since he was 2.
This is force welfare is what this is.
Man said it's force welfare.
They just giving that shit out.
Man said, you got your EBT card? Yeah, okay. I'll give you some of the force this month. You get your rations of the force this month. Don't use it all in one place, okay? Is that what we got now? I said, man, we seem to got ration. We're rationing the force out. EBT card, snap, wick, all that shit. Oh boy. So that I was like, man, okay, so this is dumb. Ezra, you should be like, look, Thrawn got away, okay? So I mean, that's just it. And I'm still stuck. I appreciate you coming back. You know what I'm saying? He got away, but she manages to get him close enough to where he actually gets onto the ship, and this is when we see the final battle between Ahsoka and Morgan. And Morgan seemed really distraught when Sabine was there because she had been left to die, but Ahsoka was not left to die. So I think in that angered state, it gave Ahsoka the opportunity to take her out. What do you think about that?
What?
Because Morgan knew she. Okay, so Morgan. Okay, so she says to Ahsoka, "Is like, okay, this is where you die, and you'll die alone." Just like she knew that she was probably going to die here alone because Thrawn had left her. But then when she seen Sabine pop up, that kind of pissed her off even more because it's like, hey, Ahsoka's supposed to be here to die by herself, just like me. But I guess quote unquote family friendship, those underlying tones.
Family. What are we reviewing? Fast and the Furious now?
Yeah, it's all about that, man. It's all about family. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it seemed to hit her hard. Let's just say that it seemed to hit her hard, and that's when she kind of when she was fighting Ahsoka initially, I'm saying it was an even duel, but then she kind of got reckless in her anger and was easily defeated at that point, and unceremoniously too. I mean, just she got her weapon taken. She got cut by both blades. All right. Which what are they gonna do with that other blade? What's the name of that other blade? I need to look that up.
I don't know, man, but it popped up and it became pointless in one episode. So, I don't understand. Is that a MacGuffin or whatever damn thing they call it?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to have some type of meaning. It looks like it's almost like the dark saber.
Well, how can it be that important if they just mysteriously poofed it out of nowhere?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say they poofed it.
They did their hands swirly with the green stuff, and it materialized in the air. It was not like they had to go on some fucking mission.
Yeah. The blade of Towson. That's it. The blade of Towson.
All right, let's hear this. Let's hear this backstory.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. Blade of Towson. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we're gonna go to Wikipedia. Which, guys, Wikipedia is the place for everything Star Wars. Just like a whole documentation. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so this sword was originally summoned from the ether. Oh dear God, why did this do this? Okay, summoned from the ether by the Night Sister matriarch Mother Talzin to duel Jedi Master Mace Windu during the Clone Wars. So this blade has been used against Mace Windu. Okay, and let's see here. Said the sword's hilt closely resembled the face of Mal Moral, the demon worshipped by the Fangal cult. The blade produced from the mouth of the hilt was wreathed in green flames of magical ichor. The sword was also able to resist lightsaber strikes, notably doing so when Talzin used it to duel against Jedi Master Mace Windu and his purple-bladed lightsaber, and on another occasion when Morgan Elsbeth used it to duel Ahsoka. So it didn't really tell you shit. It's just
Let me
a
see if I
sword.
can't recreate that face.
Man's like,
What?
and
I don't like
But-
this backstory. I think it's retarded. They did a spell and they chanted it up out of nowhere, and then
yeah, that's kind of what it is.
and
Actually,
then the wielder used it. They got killed. So yeah, it's junk. It's not a legendary sword. I'll tell you that. It's like a green or something.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it too. Like it didn't. It's just the blade of Talzin. So it's just but we do know that it's able to withstand lightsaber attacks. So we do know that. So can anybody wield it? I'm guessing so.
I'm guessing so. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you
I
just
got 3 of them in my
grab it,
closet.
so- in my closet. All right, so hey, Balin Skull really had no presence in this episode. We just see him standing on.
Is he dead at this point? Did he die during filming?
You see, I don't know. I don't think he did. I don't. Hold on, let me see. Stevenson.
What did he die of anyway?
So,
Was Ahsoka so bad it killed him?
okay, hold on. No. So he died on May 21st. This thing the production had been wrapped up, so this was like legit production.
Weird that he wasn't in this episode much.
Yeah, he was just right there at the end.
You'd think they'd want him in there for at least one scene as a hook for next season, you know?
Well, it was one scene.
Yeah,
He
barely.
didn't say anything. He stood up there, and what they say though? Some people were like, "Oh, this is the Mortis gods," and they're talking about Abeloth and all this. Oh man, this might be jumping into Abeloth. I'm like, once again, who gives a fuck? Because Abeloth ain't in the damn newest trilogy. So what if he wakes up Abeloth? Unless they're gonna do something else with this. Post that. Maybe this is why Ahsoka and stuff's not in the newest trilogy, because they're in a different galaxy and they never get out of that galaxy. You think that's why?
Maybe. And what's the deal with Thrawn? Did he actually go to another galaxy? Is that the thing? Because I wasn't sure that intergalactic travel was possible. Intragalactic travel, I should say.
He can now that he's got enough thrusters.
Like galaxies,
He's got the proper thrusters.
they're pretty far apart. Like, I don't know if you've seen a galaxy. They're far apart. They're like billions of millions of trillions of miles.
Yeah, but he's got the proper thrusters now. He's got like 8 of them, 4 or 6, however many. On that ring ship he's got. So he's got the proper amount of thrusters now.
I did kind of like the design of the ring ship and how it connected to the other ship to give it some boost or something.
No, they're going. They went back to some reason. They go back to Dathomir. So that's where they end up showing up at Dathomir. So, which would be Night Sister's home planet per se. So yeah, they end up going back to Dathomir. Ezra, of course, infiltrates, but it didn't show us actually. It didn't show us or show him leaving Thrawn's ship in a different ship. I'm like,
no, it didn't at all. Not at all.
I was like
they something accidentally hit the cutting room floor.
I'm like, bruh, that there should have been some battle that ensued when they just seen this random shit taken off. It's like, come on now. I mean, really? I mean, nothing. It gave us nothing. And of course, when Ezra gets off and he's in front of the Republic and Hera and all that, he just keeps walking up with his stormtrooper helmet on. I said, Bo, man, good thing that these people are pussies, because you should have got shot fucking by 50 people right there. You know what I'm saying? You see a stormtrooper get off the ship, it's like, man, just blast his ass. But of course, he stands there. Hera banged Kanan, but she looked like she had more of a sparkle in her eye when she seen Ezra than Sabine.
Yeah, I know, right?
She had a sparkle, but I was like, are we sure that boy is Kanan's or was it Ezra's? You know what I'm saying?
Well, remember, the big picture theme of Star Wars is about bad parenting, so anything is possible here.
Okay, so we got that. So we leave off with that. We do see Shin. She goes out there and she raises her lightsaber to the pitiful damn army out there, whatever they are, damn mercenaries. I don't know what the fuck they are. But she's like, I'm your ruler now. I'm like, man, you're ruling over a whole lot of nothing out here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was like, I don't know what the purpose of that was supposed to be.
I don't know what the purpose of that character was. It did nothing for the show at all.
Yeah, and they didn't kill her. I was like, shouldn't she die? She probably should have died. She probably should have been killed. Because, I mean, I don't really... Do we need her?
I don't know what kind of training she's getting. She ain't a Sith. She ain't a Jedi. She's in some sort of in-between limbo land.
Yeah, and I guess she's no longer in training because Baylan out there looking for something. I wish they gave us a little bit more on that. Because it's just like...
Yeah.
Like, I understand leaving us on a cliffhanger, but you just left me on nothing. I mean, it's like people are speculating. They talking about, the Mortis gods and all this other stuff. Look, every time people speculate about stuff in these movies, they always get disappointed. So I'm like, man, just tailor back your expectations, okay? I kind of hearken that back to, was it Thor: Love and Thunder? When they had Christian Bale play the villain in that. And Gore the God Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Gore the God Butcher. Folks was like, dude, Gore the God Butcher, man. In the comments, it took 3 Thors from 3 different timelines to take him out. And he was still, I was like, okay. We're gonna have, something real here. And then, like, he ain't butcher no gods. Like at all. I was like, I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, saying it's like, man, we got to do better. So Shin, Baylan, and Baylan's character was so pivotal to this series being extremely interesting in what exactly his goals and aspirations were. But they kind of left that to the wayside in this last episode, which he figured that they had to in order to wrap up the arc between Thrawn, Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra, per se. So Ahsoka and Sabine are stranded on Peridea. Okay, and Ahsoka's like, well, it's time to start a new life. I'm just like, no urgency to try to get back to the galaxy that you just left for Thrawn? I mean, I'm like, Ezra's where he's supposed to be and where we're supposed to be. I'm like, hold on a second, man. A word? I mean, Corey, it's just like, this is God's will. I mean, it's just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like God's will be done. It's just like, I was like, bruh, Sabine just went and allowed the biggest threat to the galaxy that y'all call home make it back home because she brought her ass here to get Ezra. And it's just like, oh well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what you think about that? It's just like, and she was smiling.
Yep. The whole thing was like, meh.
I mean, she's just like, yeah, Thrawn made it out. All right, let's go talk to the turtles now. I mean, I'm like, no sense of urgency. We don't need to be seeing how we can get back home because, Thrawn's a threat. And, no, well, Ezra's there, so he'll take care of it. I'm just like, oh, gosh. I'm like, wow. I mean, like all this season. So it kind of begs the question: if we do an Ahsoka season 2, will it be just them on Peridea? How much throne presence would you actually have?
Well, we have
That
to
would be
have.
the
I mean,
real
I would think
question.
the whole show is about him coming back, right? So there has to be him, the main character in the second season. There has to be some
Yeah,
big
but
battles and all this stuff.
Ahsoka's in a different galaxy. That means somebody have to find her. We gonna chew up 3 episodes.
I think that we're confused because the writing is so bad.
Okay,
I think that's the
maybe
deal.
that's it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you'd have to chew up at least 2 or 3
If they brought
episodes.
Thrawn
to
in for
try
like
to
3
find Ahsoka.
episodes and like that's it, then it's the biggest waste of his character ever.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now he does keep talking about Anakin because he's one of the few people who knew that Anakin was Darth Vader. Because he actually mentions that to Ahsoka, or mentions that, well, not to Ahsoka, but talking to the Night Sisters, that she may follow the same path as her master. So, which might make her useful. So he's one of the few that knew that Anakin was Darth Vader. So I'm guessing that we're gonna have to have some storylines intermixed within that. The real question, Corey, is when will the next season be?
Hopefully 2036. Well, we got the writer's strike, so we're fucked for at least another year. We're not going to see anything for a year, right?
They're past that.
Oh, they are.
They agreed.
Oh, they agreed.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, they agreed. They agreed. Hey, look, there's only so long you're gonna be able to go without a paycheck. I was trying to figure out how they did it so long to start off with.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Y'all ain't getting paid. I mean, folks be striking. Man, you ain't getting paid. I'd rather be getting paid than be striking. You know what I'm saying? All I say is get better at what you're doing. They were sitting there complaining about, what was it, the She-Hulk writer or whatever, but last episode got $300. I'm like, they got overpaid. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but they got overpaid for that episode. They shouldn't have got shit. They should have got, man, try again. You know what I'm saying? We're going to find somebody else because, that's some horrible shit. So, let's just speak a little bit about the future of Star Wars. Of course, me and you both will be looking forward to Andor Season 2 because that's one of the bright spots over the past few years as far as Star Wars. So I believe, if I'm correct, I believe that'd be coming out next year.
Yeah.
Andor Season 2. We'll also have The Mandalorian Season 4. Hopefully they'll go back to their roots as far as what they did in the first 2 seasons, and not so much the Bo-Katan season that they had in the 3rd season. That's the hope there. What else we got up here? We got also the Acolyte. I don't even know what that is. What is the Acolyte?
I don't know.
What's that supposed to be?
Beats me.
Acolyte. Let's see what this is. The Acolyte. Okay. Let's see. Let's pull this up for the people. Okay, so we do have. Hey, we've got a Asian being in a star leading role, and then we've got a black woman, American actress and singer, Amandla Steinberg. So let's see here. So the Acolyte is set at the end.
You said a black girl named Steinberg?
Yes, or Steinberg. I'm sorry, Steinberg. Stenberg.
Oh, interesting. You don't get too many. You don't get too many black Bergs.
Yeah, she probably has some white masters at some point in time in her family lineage. Hey, I wouldn't worry about it, guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so the Acolyte. So they got up here. Acolyte is set at the end of the High Republic era in a world of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers, approximately 100 years before Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Oh, dude, what?
That's interesting. Got Carrie-Anne Moss as a Jedi.
I don't know, man.
When is this coming out?
You see, it didn't give me the exact date. I don't think
it says 2024.
Date up here. Does it?
Okay, at least I got time to prepare. Ugh.
Okay, instead of hoping it coming out next week. Yeah, so yeah, we got that. So I guess this is yeah, the end of the High Republic era. Okay, so the end of it. So I mean, I guess we'll see what that's about. I mean, I don't know. I think they may be jumping around a little bit too much.
Yeah, too
They
much.
need they need to focus. They need to focus up. Let's see. We got the Bad Batch season 3. We got an untitled Origins of the Force movie. Okay. Oh, we've got an untitled movie tying together Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, and more.
Yeah.
We got an untitled New Jedi Order movie, and we got an untitled Lando movie.
No, what they need are more standalone movies. Like they should do Darth Plagueis. They should do that story. That one would lead directly into the Emperor and the Emperor's origin story, and that would be some good stuff right there. Because that explains how Anakin came about because of the disturbance created by Darth Plagueis, who was the first one to go into the Force world. You know.
Right. All right. Okay.
That could be a great
So what
story.
else we got
Of course,
up here?
they're never going to do it.
Okay, what else we got up here? Okay, so we will get Andor season 2 next year. We don't know when we're getting Mandalorian season 4 though, so we don't know that. And Skeleton Crew, they said, is coming out this year. I wonder if that's
That's like a cartoon, right?
Yeah, I think that's cartoon. And then they said the Bad Batch, and then a droid story. That's also an animation. So nothing overly interested on the horizon. Maybe the Acolyte, maybe if they do okay with it. But as we said before, I think we're having an issue because we don't have enough episodes in a season.
Yeah,
I think that's the issue we're running into.
Yeah.
That you're not allowing us to actually grow with these characters
Yeah,
at all.
there's zero character development at all.
Yeah, because you just got to shove it into 6 or 8 episodes, and then kind of have a conclusion on top of that because the budgets have gotten extremely ridiculous. We talk about these TV shows, $200 million and stuff like that. I'm like, why? Why do y'all got a $200 million TV show? There's no way you're making any money on this. There's no way you're making money back.
Mm-hmm.
Their ESG scores must be good.
Yep.
Okay. Must be fantastic. Hey, that print machine they got up there at the government, they are printing dollars to them every day. to help them to keep making movies. So that's the end of Ahsoka. Okay. We don't know when the next iteration is going to be, and the issue that we run into sometimes is that when we have too much of a gap in between an initial series and when the next season is, sometimes you lose too much shit as far as remembering what the hell happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's a problem. You kind of lose interest, and you get into the next season, and you're like, "Well, damn, what happened in the first season?" So it just, I don't know. It kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It's kind of like what's it? The Rings of Power. When did we do the Rings of Power? Was that 2021?
No, that was just like a year ago.
22. 22?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was 22, but now it's 23. We ain't had no Rings of Power. Will we have Rings of Power in 24? I don't know. We just had a writer's strike. Will it be 25? By that time, shit, I won't even remember what happened in the first season.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you won't even know what happened. So, I mean, like, you got to go back through and study up on all this stuff unless you're, like, devoted to Star Wars, and that's like you have a channel that's all about that, like some people do, so they know all the ins and outs. So I think that's going to be a problem across the board. And then them jumping timelines the way they have been, because of course in the newest trilogy we jumped all the way past all the stuff we're watching now. Now we're going back and revisiting the stuff in between our actual original trilogy, the 1970s and 80s, and our latest trilogy that just came out with Rey. So I don't know, a lot of that you kind of throwing people all over the place, and they're like, okay, so why should I care about this storyline because none of this actually intertwines with what I just watched? So that's gonna be the issue. Are they gonna be able to bring us something that's interesting enough for to pretty much bring in the money? Because this is about making some money. Well, I guess I guess they want to make
Disney is on track to lose billions. Like they're burning the company to the ground. Is what they're doing.
money. That's why I was like, I'm assuming that they want to make money. They're not doing a good job at doing that with these past films, but the assumption is that they want to actually make some money. So yeah, that's Ahsoka. We want to know y'all's thoughts on this series. I would say it's not the worst thing I've watched. Okay, I did understand the tone where they was trying to go. It did feel like it had a purpose as far as moving us towards an end goal. I think some of the things could have been executed a little bit better. So Ahsoka, first season, how many cubes? How many cubes?
5 cubes
Okay.
out of 10.
Okay.
It's right down the fucking
was,
middle. I mean, I'm trying not to
Yeah.
be too brutal on it.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, it wasn't okay. So we came off the heels of the Mandalorian episode or season 3, which just was all over the place.
Yeah.
So
it had no fucking flow at all.
yeah, all over the place. And this, at least, okay, I understand.
Right.
Okay, Thrawn. We got Balin. Okay, these
You had
people.
a coherent
Okay,
storyline from the jump, right? So that was good.
Mm-hmm,
The storyline was
we,
good, but the execution is always poor. You know.
Yeah, the execution could have been a little bit better, and that could have been fleshed out more with more episodes, as we said. Which I heard that when they redo the Daredevil Born Again, I think it's supposed to be like either 15 or 18 episodes. So it's supposed to be a
That's good.
longer series. So I'm like, okay,
They're trying.
Give us a little bit more. So let's scale the budget back a little bit. Okay, everybody didn't have to make $5 million. When they do 6 episodes, they could make 500,000 and it'd be okay. You know what I'm saying? So let's try to scale it back a touch. All right, which that ain't gonna happen. The budgets are going to be even more now that they've settled with the writer strike, writer and actors. The budget's going to be more, which put them under more pressure to make money. I'm just like,
well, so I hear with the writer's strike, they got some new thing that they're going to get paid based on its viewership. If the viewership of a show falls within like the top 10 of that platform, then they get more money. So what does that mean? That incentivizes them to write good stuff.
Okay.
And so hopefully that'll kill a lot of this woke nonsense that we're seeing in a lot of these scripts, and it'll kill off these bad storylines. Because if people know they're going to be making real bank to be making this stuff, like if they get in the top 10, they'll be making more money. They got a lot of incentive to write good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that means that we'll go back into a golden era of movies and TV. What you call it? 90s, late 80s, mid to late 80s, and the 90s.
That was
some
good TV back then, man. Oh God, yep, everything was good then.
Yeah. Your favorite TV show was during the early 2000s, Supernatural.
Oh yes, yeah, that was phenomenal. If you are not familiar with Supernatural, you need to watch it. It is great.
I've watched some episodes of Supernatural. I have watched some episodes of Supernatural. To be honest, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, okay, so during like my college years and stuff, the show that was always on when I woke up in the morning before I went to class was Charmed. So I ended up watching a bunch of Charmed. You know what I'm saying?
I never saw Charmed, but I did see some Buffy the Vampire Slayer. My dad was a big.
I watched all of those.
My dad was a huge Buffy fan.
Mm-hmm. I watched all of those. So yeah, I don't know that's TV shows were good. They were really good back then. So there was a lot. Okay, so there wasn't a ton of TV shows either. You know what I'm saying? You just had like your staples.
Yeah, just staples because you had your major networks, and the major networks had X amount of shows. Right? Like I remember a time before you didn't. I remember before there was 5. I mean, when I grew up, there was 3 channels. Like I remember, I lived in New York in the 70s and 80s. I moved out of New York in 85, and before we left New York, they had just came up with cable. And like before that, we had a TV, and it got 3 channels: ABC, NBC, CBS, and the other channels were static. That was it. You had to click, 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 static. Oh, we got a channel. And then you had to make sure the fucking antennas were like, you had to move the antennas because that's how you got TV. For like 100 years, that's how people got TV. Through the fucking, through the antennas. So.
Yeah. But that was it right there.
And I remember, but I remember we didn't have MTV. before the days of MTV, so we had Friday night videos on NBC starting in 1980. I'll never forget. I remember seeing the first couple music videos, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like 6, and this is like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, so there it is. So yeah, you had a lot less to choose from, but that means that they could put more care into those shows because they needed them to
They
succeed.
needed them to succeed. Like those shows
Mhm.
were the fucking fate of the network,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, because
Fate
they would
of
put
the
them in prime
fucking
time.
prime time. You
They'd be
had
like prime.
so you had the game shows at 7, right? You had Wheel of Fortune and not Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, you had Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy at 7, 7:30 standard forever. And then that was pre-prime time. Then prime time was 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then the stuff that was a little racier got the 10 o'clock slot.
10. Yep. Yep. So that was your primetime lineup. And on every single channel, it had a primetime lineup. It wasn't nothing different. There was no streaming services that came up with 100 different damn iterations of different TV. And I think that's where we're messing up. Like all the streaming networks were originally just supposed to be a place where, okay, I don't have to go to the video store anymore. I can go to the streaming network and watch a movie or watch an old movie, watch a new movie, whatever. But now when they jumped into, we're going to make our own shows and all that stuff, now you're just flooded with stuff. And it's just like, y'all, there's not enough imagination in the world to actually create enough good content.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I mean, here's the thing again. We talked about this before, but all content goes back to the ancient literary themes, right? The man versus man versus nature, man versus himself. Like these themes of conflict, and then the storyline with the you have your peak, your climax, and then you have the conflict and the conflict resolution. Like this is all like nothing. This is how entertainment works. It's the formula that nothing will ever change. So
yeah,
but yeah,
you're right. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, this let us know what y'all think about Ahsoka and the future of Star Wars. We would like to hear y'all's thoughts in the comment section below. Me and Corey will be bringing you Loki season 2. It's supposed to come out today. I was actually on Disney Plus and it won't out yet, so it must be coming out at a specific time today. And maybe it's out right now, but at 8:30 you could not watch it, even though it said season premiere October 5th. It is October 5th, right? Okay, yeah. So it's October 5th. So we'll be bringing y'all that. We'll bring you Meg and Meg 2. I got to slip Corey a copy of that so he can so he can watch the Meg 2.
My hacker's been dropping the ball lately, man. I haven't been able to see anything newly stolen lately at all.
That's a shame.
I know.
That's really a shame.
I know.
Yeah, that's really a shame.
We need some new hackers is what we need.
That's really a shame. Meg 2 does up the ante. It does up the ante.
Does it have a dinosaur in it?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Well, yeah, something during the dinosaur age. So yeah, it does. It ups the ante. Okay, ups the ante. 3 sharks. I mean, dinosaur. I mean, so yeah. So it will up the ante. But at the end of the day, it's got a central thing.
And Jason Statham just kicked their ass, right?
Kick the shit out of it.
That's all he does. He's the best. My man's done like 200 fucking movies, same role every time.
The exact.
I watched a good one last night called Parker that he was in. He gets betrayed on a job and good movie. I mean, he was in a movie with J-Lo. I'm like, I thought that was above his pay grade a little.
No, Statham. No, he's down. He's down for the cause. Okay, as long as he gets to play his character, okay, he'll be in your movie. All right. It's like I don't play anybody else. I play Jason Statham. So, I mean, that's who I play. All right. So we hope you enjoyed this episode of Showtime with the Q. Be on the lookout for the other things we got coming to you right here shortly. So, from my boy HQ420, the co-host, the powerful one, Corey Hughes. We'll catch y'all on the next Showtime with the Q. Peace out.